Alright guys, we are finally set up for Haze poster present by HiG21-Hbrk, and he will be joined by Sergeant Silent. Take it away guys.
Well, hello, I'm back. So we'll be doing Haze, but it isn't just any ordinary run. It's actually poser percents. A nice little creative spin rather than playing the entire game. Silent, do you want to explain what poser percent is?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Sergeant Silent. So basically, this game is split into two very distinct playstyles. This is gonna be the first playstyle, the first about 45 minutes, which is based on a literal meme on how well this game is put together. At the end of this run, there is a chance that a NPC will spawn into the middle of a cutscene doing an A pose or a T pose. Literally the whole point of this category is to see that happen. So everyone will be disappointed if it doesn't. And if it does, it's automatically world record. It doesn't matter what time he gets.
That's the rules.
That's how it works.
Yep. What difficulty do we pick again? I've completely forgotten.
Easy, unless
Easy.
you're up for a challenge.
No thanks. This is Haze we're talking about, remember?
Oh, I remember. Don't worry.
Right, ready to start the timer? And 3, 2, 1.
Woo.
Here we go,
So-
about 5 minutes of cutscenes and 1 minute of walking.
Yeah, immediately into this, we have a loading screen followed by an unskippable cutscene.
Yay.
Woo, Haze! This game killed Halo people. Remember that. I'm gonna remind you of that a
My
lot.
name is Shane Carpenter.
And Marino's
So-
promise.
Into a world of war.
Yeah, Marino's.
Born into a world where unless someone makes things
So
right,
This game came out pretty early into
They'll
the
never be
PS3's
right.
life cycle. Anyone
I was
who knows
born
this game knows it went through a lot of
2023.
turmoil. It was promised to come out as a launch date, and then it got pushed aside, and then it got delayed, and then it got pushed aside, and then when it finally came out, the game wasn't exactly well received. I'm gonna point that out to begin with, and you're gonna see that the game features some theming that may be an issue with some individuals here. So if at any point you do find yourself struggling with the content, this is a serious PSA. The game does not pull punches. Just be ready for that. The game will do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's lots of cutscenes. And it's fun. It's very fun, especially this opening one, which you have to sit through. Every
yeah.
reset. It's like Super Mario Sunshine, but we can't mod it because it's a PS3 disc exclusive.
Oh yeah.
That track as much as I did. I'm sending big love to my homies rocking it on the front
So,
line. Just to
I'm
let
gonna
you know
explain
they're
it
all
because
rooting for you.
you
And
wouldn't
looking forward to
otherwise
seeing
get
you
it.
boys
When
back
the
in
guy
bars
named
real
Tier
soon.
there leaned in and said, "Let me adjust your pack," that's actually pretty critical to the entire story here. Everything that happens is because of that one line of dialogue. Otherwise, no one is gonna understand what's happening. We might as well explain the story if we have to watch it.
Yeah. It's better than the stuff you're saying in the cutscene.
Yep. So, this is like a paramilitary group, basically, called Mantel Corporation. The things on our back are called nectar receptors. And basically, we're all super soldiers. We take drugs to enhance our combat finesse. It makes us move faster. It makes us aim better. You gotta go get the dialogue by the group of NPCs first.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Um,
I just want to get out of this level.
This game is highly based on triggers. Like, you have to sit in every trigger, you have to watch every cutscene, you have to do all of that stuff. We don't know any way to break this game in the first half of, or the first 45 minutes of it. It's really just sitting here and watching 25 minutes of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Also, to note, this is literally the entire first level, is that cutscene, walk to this group, this cutscene, and then walk into this plane behind us. It is possible to die. There is only one checkpoint, and it is the start of the level. If we die in this, which AGD may demonstrate, depending on how practiced he is, there's a jet engine that will kill us, and
Yep, there it is.
you just have to redo the whole level. Everything you saw, you gotta do again.
Including the cutscenes.
Let me see those eyes, soldier.
And not only that, but I'm not sure if it's in the early levels you can do that, but I know in the later levels you can definitely like miss the triggers for the cutscenes. I think you did that once with a helicopter, with Marino. Like, you went right past it, standing at the helicopter when it was just a bit back.
Yeah, there's a lot of little places that if you're not standing, the game just won't progress ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is our squad. They don't mean much in this category. In the full game, these guys are a lot more relevant, but essentially, Duval here is the main antagonist of this game. And you'll notice that you start as quote-unquote equals, when in the beginning cutscene he's like, we're both sergeants. It's just Duval or whatever. Things are gonna change really fast because of what the other guy did.
Yeah, TR.
Yeah, Tira really messed with us when he did that. The TLDR on this is basically the military corporation Mantel is controlling this
Yes, it's back, but I can't see anything interface-wise. So I'm going to
Give me a
eyeball
sec.
it.
gonna
If I
tell you.
transition
Sorry for
now...
waking you up, Kuno.
Alright, cool. So we are able to transition. We have got live feedback up from AG. For some reason on our end, tech end, we're getting connection issues, but we can still work with this. It's all good. AG, are you alright just to carry on from where you were? And I'll just restart the timer on you.
Yep, I'm just gonna restart from checkpoint because from the sounds of it, you stopped the timer just before we landed. So this will restart us back to when we land.
Alright, cool. So if I restart the timer soon as you hit restart checkpoint, and then we can just go from there, yeah?
Yep, that sounds good.
Perfect.
3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. Loads.
Perfect, I love loads.
Alright, so I think we got cut off, but I think we got cut off before anyone heard that when the helicopter is landing, it shows you all of your controls and everything. So the main gameplay for this game during this part is going to be in the bottom right, you see our HP, and in the bottom left, you see something called the nectar meter. Basically, you want to hold the button a lot longer than that. You want it to be almost full. Basically, there is 6 charges. You can see them as these little yellow
Squares.
squares, yeah, thank you, around the end. And we can use those charges to make us move faster, make enemies get highlighted, we do more damage with those shots. Basically, the main mechanic of this run is going to be always having nectar in our system so that we continually move fast. Whenever we enter a cutscene, any nectar we were running on is instantly gone, so we lose any benefit from that. So we want to specifically time our nectar usage out so that we always have it. And it's worth taking the time to shoot these enemies, because when you shoot an enemy, your nectar gauge actually increases for doing damage to enemies, and that lets us extend the nectar for even longer. Because if you run out of all of the charges of nectar, then you have to do a very slow walk for quite a ways.
Yeah, which is quite painful.
Now, you can actually hold nectar and charge it almost all the way up to the meter. but whenever you get one of these like nectar disruptions, it's over. Or if you overcharge it, you actually go into what's called a nectar overdose, which we will see later in the run, and that is not something we want to have happen.
Yeah, definitely not. I've actually never knew that if you use it too much, you actually get an overdose by yourself.
Yep, that's why it turns red.
What's up, buddy? You
I
guys
had no
okay?
idea.
We're fine.
Yep. So this is the
Why?
another great cutscene. This is Just an Animal. One of the the best lines in the game. Gonna be honest. Just an animal.
Push up. We'll
This
see
is
you there.
where it really becomes obvious that there is something wrong going on here. And like I said, anytime that cutscene ends, you're forced to watch it. So our little friends here, you can actually... Oh, it's square. My bad.
Yeah, it's square. I was pressing triangle. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Silent.
Yeah, you know what? It didn't say square or anything on screen.
That's true, yeah.
So our friends also carry nectar, and soldiers share drugs on the battlefield. So we can just walk up to him and go, mine, and take all the nectar we want from him.
Which is exactly
So-
what I did.
The whole point of this level was the plane that got shot down in the intro cutscene. We were sent in to investigate that crash site. That's where we are now. And this other division, basically, we can call them the Rebels for the sake of sanity, has staked out this crash site, and we have to take all of these guys out in a series of waves. So it's gonna be, all the waves are fixed. The enemy soldiers that come in are fixed. They always land at the same time. In that, you just walked off the cliff, dude.
I've never done that one before. That's brand new. Wow.
Great. Unfortunately, if you do die in this fight, you do have to start from the beginning and do it all again. I think there's 1 or 2 checkpoints in it, but for the most part, it's pretty much just a bunch of fixed guard positions. Where they move after you start the fight is random. They have relative behaviors where they'll always go, but essentially it's keep firing, keep taking the guys out. The first wave is the hardest one to optimize just because of where the guys can go.
Yeah, it's pretty much random most of the time
You know,
for the first wave.
yeah. The second, third, fourth, and fifth waves are all extremely easy to
Take care of.
take. Yeah. Dang, I need to get a water. 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that.
It's all good.
Alright, so there was our checkpoint. Now if AGD walks off a cliff, we'll respawn here. Yo, what up, Apache? So this is another one of those, what you call triggers that you have to chill at. We have to specifically trigger this, or this cutscene will never happen.
Yeah, so if you walk over here, you'll never be able to do it until you walk back over to them and stand in a specific place that they want you to stand in.
So, again, no one's gonna understand this unless you actually play the game. Because our nectar intake got adjusted, we can see this pilot here who is essentially dying. Nobody else with us can see this guy. So, for the upcoming dialogue after this fight, you have to understand that we are the only people who knows that this dying pilot is here. That is literally the core mechanic that this game is trying to hammer into you, because drugs are bad, kids.
Totally. Yeah.
See, look, Glory, who watches you play this game time and time again, did not understand that. Alright, so now that we've done this cutscene, we are at the point where we're about to be rushed by a whole bunch of enemies. So the first wave is going to come in on a plane. We can actually snipe. We can't damage the plane itself, but the guards in the plane we can actually take out as soon as they physically show up, which I believe AG will pop a nectar so they're easier to see, and we'll just take them all out. Then it's gonna be guards on the right, guards on the back right, guards on the left, and then another helicopter.
Yeah, first you've got to take care of the guards on the floor here. Then the helicopter makes its way, eventually.
I missed the first wave. There are 6 waves. Man, could this game get any longer? I mean, funner.
And my entire PS3, I think, just froze.
Did your game just crash? What the heck?
You've got to be... No, Matt. You're having a laugh. Oh, the PS3's gone. It's got...
Quick, reset.
Oh, God, this is...
I've never seen that crash before. That is beautiful.
You know what? This is brilliant.
Oh, we heard the beep. Now we're gonna hear the beep beep beep. And then this is gonna hard turn off. Well, on the plus side, you have a checkpoint from before you started that fight.
Yeah, there's the 3 beeps. And yeah, that checkpoint, I mean, that definitely useful. I guess.
You know what? Haze is pretty fringe monk at TOS, so it would not surprise me if Twitch suddenly started cracking down on this game.
I mean, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me either.
Press the PS button to continue. It's some money in the bank.
Oh boy.
No, knowing AGD, it's not a steel chair. It's a glass bottle, and AGD just took one in the head. It's striking back at you, AG.
Oh no. The revenge of a beer.
Don't worry, guys. I think AG can still get sub 45 if we skip cutscenes that aren't allowed to be skipped. Oh, you should push circle to skip the.
You can skip that. Oh yeah, the initializing
Yeah,
network. The initializing network.
If you push circle, it skips the initializing network.
Does it?
What? Yes,
I've
it does.
never. Really?
I mean, it's not. We don't time this part of the run, so it doesn't matter. It saves you like 5 minutes or something, because you know it's trying to log into Haze servers that don't exist.
Yeah, that's actually going to take like 5 minutes. Thank you, PS3, for being competent today.
At least
thank
the
you, Haze.
3DS didn't crash.
That's what I was worried about, actually. Because I've had it crash mid-run before, and because I did not save whatsoever in that run, because it wastes, like, 2 seconds. I've had it crash before, and then it's like, oh yeah, brand new save, and I'm like, no, you're kidding.
F3.5 minutes, hours.
Yeah.
Hate equals crappy Halo.
It's a Halo killer. It's
Yeah,
not a bad Halo. It's a good Halo.
I don't know what you're talking about. This game is literally Halo. Like, so we can talk about actually something. I don't know if Apache knows about this. He'd be a person who's very interested in this. This game was developed by a little team known as Free Radical, who were later bought by Crytek, and are known for games such as Time Splitters. This was their PS3 debut.
Yeah.
I think you should just go back into it unless they paused the timer. Which they
Yeah,
probably
they didn't. They didn't, yeah.
back into it then.
Just to note, timer was not paused.
Yeah, I just noticed
Timer
that, yeah.
was running.
Alright, we're gonna get back in then.
Lost one of my triggers.
Yeah, this is pretty much the game that spelled the downfall for Free Radical as a company. After this game bombed, it has like a, what is it, like a 42 on Metacritic or something?
40, that's been a bit generous.
I don't remember if it was a 36 or what, but basically, after this game bombed, Free Radical started pretty much going out of business, which is why they got bought by Crytek. And then now nothing's ever happening with the company again. Big sad. Big sad.
Well, I mean,
It's
the
a
two...
55 on Metacritic. It's very
Oh.
generous.
That's wow, incredibly generous. Damn. Give me your drugs. Give me your drugs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give me a drug. Yeah, Ape Academy 1 has a worse score on Metacritic than this game.
Okay, well, that score is definitely way too generous.
Obviously, Metacritic is telling you everyone wants to and should play this game. It's a PS3 FPS disc-only gem. You literally have to have a PS3 and a physical disc copy of this game to play it. Why don't you have that? Why do you not have one of the most expensive Sony consoles, Super niche, and one of the first games to ever come out on disc-only medium for the console? Come on, guys.
That's how we do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can find a way to get this game digital, let us know, Mayu. Alright, so the mission is over. It is still possible to die here. If you try to get into... Oh my god, AJ, I thought you just did it. If you try to get into the carrier too quickly, the cutscene that auto starts of you getting into the carrier won't actually play, and you will fall off the cliff, and you will die, and you will have to do it all again. It has happened to both of us
Multiple
one time.
times.
I say both of us because no one else has ever run this game except one random Japanese guy who put the video on YouTube like 6 years ago.
But no, see, I was actually quite confident with that one because I've done like that kind of, I kind of clip through and then clip into the chair, into the cutscene straight away. So I was actually quite confident with that. But I have like just basically won't stop that clip before I'm like, oh okay, well see you later.
So now remember, a lot of this dialogue isn't gonna make sense unless you understand. Nobody saw the pilot except for our character here. So Duval goes on this long rant about priorities.
And their time will come.
This is all happening as we're loading into level 3. Return to the land carrier. If you liked the first level, get ready for level 3.
Looks like someone's been throwing grenades on the damn dam.
Only the main character saw it because the drug and the nectar that's being inhibited essentially acts as a way to repress or hide the horrors of war. So if your system is full of nectar, it's essentially a hallucinogen that prevents anyone from seeing dead bodies, so they don't suffer from things like PTSD and stuff. In the very first cutscene, what's the guy's name?
Pesci.
No. The guy who did the inhibitor. Pesci's right next to you.
Here.
Tier.
Tia.
His name's Tier.
Yeah, Tia.
Tier, when he said, "Let me adjust your pack for you, sir," he actually turned a nozzle that restricts the amount of nectar that we are getting, which is why we're able to see the body. So in the chapter right after this run ends, the cutscenes that play explain that we're having trouble receiving nectar inhibitors, and the way our boss military corporation deals with that is once you reach the end of your usefulness or your nectar stops working on you, they kill you. They literally kill you off and they shove you into a shipping container and away from society, because you're no longer a use. Mentel can no longer control you mentally with their drug. That's literally what's happening in the second half of the game. But the reason we don't play that is because there is a 6.5 minute long unskippable cutscene followed by loads of lovely dialogue and just watching a guy swing a knife a lot for 2
Pretty
hours.
much, yeah.
So yeah, we're just doing this part. We're just doing this part of the game.
And not only that, we've also got a chance of a T-pose or so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Mayu. He's like, dead people. And everyone else is like, nah, bro. Priorities, bro. Priorities. So, no, I didn't see the pilot.
What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Also, boosh.
Oh, God.
Boosh is the best line from this entire game.
Remember your promise to Marino. That's the best line. Bush is second.
Alright, fair enough.
And just animals is third.
Oh, other reason we're not showing the second half of the game. If you think this part of the game is bad dialogue, oh, the second half of the game is pretty bad.
Just remember what I said about prioritizing,
So,
buddy.
yeah,
What about it?
you can go watch like a full speed run since cutscenes are unskippable to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You hate
It's a rough game.
Why do you ask?
It's rough. Very, very, very
I
rough.
do want to emphasize the reason this game is here is because it fits the horrible part of the title.
In your brain. Nothing more.
It fits it really well.
Only kid for that girl.
Word for word. Letter for letter.
Your story. You weren't doing it for some higher purpose.
First half? No, Meyer, you have this confused. This is the first minutes of a 2-hour, 40-minute run. This is like the first 7 of the game.
And prioritize.
You have to play 2 hours of the rest.
Yeah. And that is why I'll never do any percent.
You owe me any percent. So 240 is
Okay,
free.
I'll never do any percent sober. How's that?
That works. But you're
Okay.
always drunk and you haven't done the run yet, so...
I mean, that's true, yeah.
It's just one run. It's just an animal.
Oh my god. It's this. No,
Okay.
I mean, right there. Right underneath us.
So, this is Quarry. Quarry exists. Did you guys know Mario Kart? This game has vehicles. It has driving, because what first-person shooter doesn't have vehicles in driving? After you take out the first initial wave of guards, this helicopter comes in and it drops a vehicle. And we can't actually get to the vehicle immediately. The devs programmed this huge, like, pushback feature, so you have to wait quite a bit. The soldiers are trying to get in and help us, but that's slow. We're just gonna go.
Yeah,
This
almost ran him
vehicle
over.
This vehicle controls bad. I'm just gonna say this vehicle controls bad. If we flip, it's probably over. It's possible to get the vehicle stuck, depending on how AG takes this ramp. Okay, so now he doesn't have enough speed to make it up. Oh my god, you barely made it up. If you mess that up, you actually have to go all the way around. You don't have enough speed to get up that ramp. Turning in this thing is awful. Expect AG to hit several walls turning, just because the vehicle is like that. And in addition to it, while we are driving, we have to continually get out of the vehicle and hit switches. There will be mines along the way that we're supposed to quote unquote dodge. I told you that's what happens if you hold it for too long.
I only tapped it. I literally only tapped it.
Tapped it, he says, while holding the button.
I think my battle may have gotten stuck.
Knowing AG, he probably does drive like this IRL.
Probably.
So, using Nectar in the vehicle is not super relevant. It does show you where the mines are, but the mines' positions are fixed. And even if you know where the mines are, they're going to hit you anyway, because this game is mean.
Yep,
Also,
there's force mines.
The vehicle can only take, I think it's 4 hits before you're gonna start hearing it go beep, 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 beep. If we hear that happening, which I hope AG has audio on, we have to get out of the vehicle and start running. If it explodes with us in it, it's an instant game over, and we go back to the checkpoint. So while we're in this thing, if we hit any explosive barrels, if we hit any of these big rocks, if these mines go off and hit us, and remember, multiple of these mines are forced, boom. Like, it's damage, and we have to wait. So
My
I
nectar's
think
no longer working. There we go.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the button broke.
The button
So-
got stuck, yeah.
So, our vehicle, I believe it blew up. I don't have audio on. I'm gonna assume it did since you
It did.
abandoned it. So now, we're on foot, which is very slow, but the game automatically spawns another vehicle miles ahead of us, out of reach, which we have to get back into. To put it into context, I think Eric has a much better quarry than I do, which is like a once-in-a-blue moon occurrence because of how hostile the quarry is as a level.
Yeah.
Can you do this in one vehicle? I think the minimum you need is 2 vehicles to realistically get through quarry.
I think, yeah, minimum was 2. Don't quote me on that.
Realistically,
What
that translates.
What just happened there?
This is only 30%. He ran into that wall of his own will. To 60%, this vehicle controls bad. Basically, the fact that we, as speedrunners, need more than one vehicle casually translates to you will probably need like 4 vehicles to get through quarry.
Yes.
It's rough. Also, this is not the hardest driving section in the game. In the main game, about 2 hours deep into the run, there's another level called Mountain. Imagine everything you're seeing right now, but you can also just drive off cliffs to your death. Oh, 6-axis exists in this game.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons this game works only on PS3. It literally requires 6-axis. If you do not have 6-axis and you catch on fire, you will die. You cannot put the fire out without shaking your controller. Not so relevant here. I've never even seen people catch fire in quarry. That was impressive.
I've caught fire many, many, many times in quarry.
Wow. Stop going so fast. There's a later level where it's much more relevant, because if he's not shaking, he's dead. See all these mines? Like, there's no way around getting hit by these mines, which is why this is so hard.
I think there's like 5 or 6 mines that are forced, meaning you do definitely require another vehicle at least.
Yep, the vehicle I think can only take 4 before
think
it
so,
starts
yeah.
beeping. I didn't want to let you in. All right, where? Oh, is it beeping? Oh, you just accidentally.
No. Yeah, press the wrong button.
All right. Well, thankfully we're at the end of Quarry. Literally nothing else could possibly go wrong in this run. Right?
Definitely not. Totally not. It's smooth sailing
Yeah.
from here.
How are you feeling about lava today, AG? I gotta ask.
Not very
All
confident.
All right. So this is the cutscene that really emphasizes the point I've been nailing home. That guy, he's dying now. No one else here sees him as dying, if they even see him at all. Like, this cutscene really emphasizes what Nectar does to people.
I don't know about you boys, but
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
if
He's
you'll-
disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gone now. He just doesn't even exist anymore. Because we got Nectar in, nobody sees him anymore. He's gone. So this is the last level of this section of the game where you still work for Mantell, which is the actual reason this category exists. This is basically Mantell percent. After this, you stop working with Mantell, which is why the whole game changes. And the gameplay style and everything just completely is a different game entirely. So this is like a way to get people into the game, because this game has a lot better speed tech and routing in the first 45 minutes. Plus, 45 minutes is a much better digestible chunk for most speedrunners. Very few people are going to want to sit down and play 3 hours of this game when they can just play the first 45 minutes, which already has everything you want in a great game.
Yeah, great game.
I would like to point out that before this marathon started, I wanted to submit an incentive for AGD to play the other 2 hours of this on stream. Unfortunately, it was shot down. A 2-hour incentive was apparently too much.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that until today. Until just there. Wow.
Yeah, well,
Imagine that.
you were gonna run the rest of this game. I was considering being the sole donor for that. I wanted to see that.
That took me by shock, just like someone comes in and like, yeah, by the way, you've also got to do the next 2 hours of this game because Silent decides so. And I'm, what? Excuse me?
I don't
Say
even
that
think
again?
I don't even think you've ever seen Observatory. I think you stopped at Mountain.
No, I did go into Observatory.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what stopped you from beating the game then. It was practically the end. Alright, so, all that forced walking is over. We're now back in the
Nectar zone.
The Nectar phase. So we're gonna be running and gunning through Nectar here, keeping it charged up as much as we can. Killing enemies that are in our way to keep the Nectar going. It's possible to get through this entire section on one single dose of Nectar, but you have to have really good enemy placement, good enemy takedown, and good movement. So specifically right now, the guy we're chasing, which is known as Skin Coat, or Merino is his actual name, ran into a passageway with a door that got
Whoa.
shut.
What's going on here? I think my controller's freaking out now.
Oh no. So we have to hit a switch to lower our bridge so we can hit a switch to open the door. That's gonna be the theme of Quarry, or of the smelting plant we're in, is lots of hitting switches to make things happen so that we could progress through the level while fighting enemies. So that's switch 2. Chat wants to see what happens in the next 2 hours, AG.
Oh
How far ahead are
god.
we again? Are we 2 hours ahead on schedule? I think we could slide this in.
It's down this way. There we go.
So these nectar disruptions that are happening are actually scripted in. They always happen in the exact same spot. So you can base your nectar usage around when they're going to occur, when cutscenes are going to occur. Believe it or not, this actually does feel pretty decent in terms of speed tech. But the enemies are brutal. This is the hardest.
Okay.
This is the hardest room in the run. If AGD dies here, it's not actually going to be super surprising because you have a lot of damage on the top, followed by a scripted staircase and breaking, and you get like nectar overload. This is the only time your nectar is forced to be overloaded on you, and while yours is overloaded, you see both enemies and allies as things to shoot, and the enemies don't care about you. Your aim is flinging wildly. There's a guy here who catches you on fire. Enemies are just spawning. That was actually really clean to get through that and basically lose no health. That section can just utterly destroy you, especially because if you push too far into that room, it will give you a checkpoint, and the way checkpoints work in this game is that checkpoints your exact health, but not your nectar. So if you're on fire and you have 1 tick of damage left before you die, you will be checkpointed on fire with 1 tick of damage, and you will be stuck in an infinite death loop.
I have had that happen once.
Best way to lose a run. Both of us could vouch for that. We got through the hardest room. Now we're in the second hardest room because now after we have the bloodstream abnormality, now we get a nectar cutoff. So we have to do the first like 2 minutes of this room without any nectar. Nectar does a lot for us, including, but not limiting to, giving us a shield on our health. So without nectar, we don't have a shield anymore. So these enemies are actually going to be doing a lot of damage to us.
I thought I'd try that.
Oh, I wonder if that works or not. I wonder if you could even survive the fall. Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, probably a bad idea. You know, it was worth a shot.
It's Haze. What have you got to lose?
Exactly.
So there are barrels here that you're meant to shoot these barrels and cause explosions. Barrels have super delayed explosions, and if they go off, they will one-shot you or catch you on fire and then immediately kill you afterwards. So it's actually very dangerous if you accidentally shoot the barrels, because you will just die. So at this point, the amount of drugs you have really matters. If you don't have optimal drug usage here, or if you use too many, you will have to do a lot of super slow walking through the rest of this room. There's no more places to get drugs. Or nectar, or whatever you want to call it.
Everything. Pretty much. I always give out wrong.
Yeah. Honestly, it's super easy to get lost in this game. You are about to die, by the way.
Yeah, I've got a beep in my ear. It's fine. I've got drugs. I'm safe.
I got drugs. I got drugs.
Oh, I do this one as well, quite a lot.
Oh no.
It's fine. I mean, my PS3 fucking crashing is. Well.
I mean, you're on world record pace, I think.
Yeah, totally. I can't even see where I'm going. But yeah, no, my PS3 crashing, yeah, that's basically just destroyed everything.
Yeah, I've never seen that crash before. That was fascinating. I've seen some things in this game, not that. I wonder what that was. If that was the game or your system.
I'm not sure if the sound was still playing, so obviously, like, I was still hearing the Haze music and those shots every so often in the background.
Okay, then it was the game that crashed. That's weird. Okay, so the whole reason we ran around there is because we had to destroy that machine to take out some AA guns. that machine produces an explosion which can actually kill you if you walk into it.
I think you found that out, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. On a good run, I just ran up to it and died. So now that we've taken that out, the aircraft that was getting shot at the start is going to come down and drop some more soldiers off for us, which is going to let us restock up on drugs here. And we have to basically just do a super long run at this point through the rest of the smelting plant. So get ready. We're going to hit another switch, another button.
Oh my god.
No one saw another button coming. If we get out of this ditch and run along the top, every enemy in the room magically knows where we are and will start shooting at us. So it's actually very dangerous to be out in the open and exposed like this. Just because enemies could snipe you from nowhere and they could do a ton of damage. I'm liking this the safety tunnel you're taking here.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Accident, it was tactical.
Tactical.
So there are actually other weapons in this game. You could pick up flamethrowers, you could pick up miniguns. There are 2 types of assault rifles. There's a pistol, there's a knife. I don't know what AGD is going to do. Are you picking up the minigun? You are not picking up the
I am not picking. I have picked up once and I died almost instantly.
Alright.
Well, on Nectar. So.
Honestly, the best weapon in the game is probably the basic assault rifle, but you do need
prefer the Lobo. It does more damage.
Which one's the Lobo?
The one you pick up, usually.
That's the enemy assault rifle?
Yeah. Until you switch over, then they magically lose
then
it.
it's yours. Yeah. But TLDRs, the assault rifles are the best guns in the game. The only other thing you use voluntarily is the rocket, because without the rocket, you'll die. Actually, the literal best weapon is the knife. That thing is broken. But it's not in this category, so this is the second to last room in the run. It's literally a giant auto scroller. If you touch this lava, it's game over. You die.
Yeah,
End of
even
story.
1 pixel fucking touches it, that's it, you're done.
So we have to continually take all these enemies out. This is the switch we need to hit. When we hit it, as long as the lift we're watching is moving, it doesn't really matter what we do. Once it's been hit, it registers that it's been hit, and the lift will start moving back for us. So AGD's just here because he has nothing better to do. Because after it gets to the end, we then have to run all the way back and wait for it to get back for us.
I think I just killed one of the Mantel soldiers.
Why would you do that?
He looked like an enemy. Until I heard his Nectar going off, and I was like, wait a minute. I just... Oops. Bye-bye.
Oops. So at this point, our Nectar is pretty much irrelevant for the rest of the run. There's only one more small section where it's valuable, but we have 2 charges of Nectar, and
Free.
that's plenty.
Yeah, they recharge every so often.
Oh, you're right. I played this game recently. I swear. La-di-dee, la-di-doo, waiting for the elevator.
Oh, well, you just died. Rest in peace, that guy.
It is worth noting, if you die in this room at any point, you have to redo the entire room. You have to wait for the lift we're on to go all the way back to the other side, come all the way back to our side. Like, it's you do not want to accidentally die. And this is the last serious threat in the run. Your Nectar being disrupted here, you have to take a lot of guys out who you cannot see well, and if you don't take cover like AGD is here, you can actually take a lot of damage. Because there's a minigun guy who spawns up there who is not afraid to kill you.
Oh no, he tears through you like paper.
Yeah. We're getting... I think this is literally the last guy. The only thing that can go wrong at this point is we have to get off this lift onto the other side. You can actually jump this gap early, but if you misjudge your jump, and jumping in this game is not very good, you fall to the ground and have to do the entire room again. And considering this is the end of the run, that's a great way to lose a lot of time.
Yeah, see, I've actually done that jump very early once and just barely made it. You know that feeling when you kind of look like you're about to fall down and then all of a sudden you're clipped up to the top? It happened, and I can tell you I had a heart attack. I had a heart attack.
I'll be honest, you jumped a lot earlier than I usually jump. I obviously...
Oh, I was really close.
I could come back and get a 44 looking at this.
Yeah, that was a very late jump for me. Very late.
Look at this guy. He's over here playing risky and he can't even get a 45. I mean, what?
It's not nice from a PSV just lay down.
You know whose fault it is? Quarry.
Oh,
It literally comes down to Quarry.
it is Quarry, yeah. I mean, I had a pretty terrible Quarry.
I do wanna point out though, this cutscene is a bit much. So just be ready. This cutscene might hurt some people.
Yeah, it includes a bit of gore.
It's probably the worst one in the game, or in the run.
Yeah, if you're a bit squeamish, or you're watching with kids, might be a bit good idea to get him to sit out of the room for like 5 minutes or something.
But otherwise, it's just a long cutscene of Marino. He knows that our nectar has been messed with, and he is talking to us to try to get us to swap over to his side, which he is successful in. Tune in next time when AGD runs the other 2 hours of this game to figure out what happened.
I don't always live by the principles of our Lord God. You know what? He does have some...
There is still a little more gameplay, but we are coming up on time after this cutscene, so you all could get ready on that, and then we'll see if we have a true poser or not.
Yeah, I mean, come on, if I get a true poser, then no matter what time.
No matter what.
Yeah, so... Poser, please, poser.
Considering what your PS3 has done already, I would not be surprised if it.
Yeah. I'm really hoping with all the issues we've had so far with it, that it's gonna give me this one thing in life.
Alright, the bad part of the cutscene is over, so you could come back now if you were stepping away. Alright, so all we have to do now is just walk to this helicopter. The other guys on our team are going to be dragging Marino behind us. There's going to be a fade to black, and time is going to be on that fade. So, AG, you have the live feed. I will let you call time since it's pretty easy to call.
Yep. And time.
Nice. Alright, so this is the cutscene where we're going to see if we get true poser or not. If we see it, a guy is just going to literally pop into existence in the middle of this cutscene for no reason whatsoever. So yeah, we're just gonna watch this cutscene and then we'll officially be done with the run. I'm hoping for this poser.
I'm really hoping for this poser as well.
But not me. I'm a carnivore. A real meat.
Otherwise, GG on the run. I'm glad we got to show Haze off.
Yeah, it was fun, I guess.
When isn't Haze fun?
Let me think about that one for a second.
Looks like we need to drop off a prisoner and a pussy.
Yeah, so this run was definitely something. Let's just call it like that.
I'm glad that you let this beautiful monstrosity into the
It's
marathon.
horrible. But look at the theme of the run. Look at the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if we could find anything more fitting for this marathon. Maybe a horrible horror game, but
Come on.
Yeah, when I told AGD to submit this, he was like,
Oh, that was his chance.
look at that lag during the cutscene.
I thought it was gonna happen. I saw that lag. I was like, oh.
He would have spawned right there. Dang. No true poser.
No true
That's-
poser.
That's sad. But that's Haze. That's the category we're running here. We don't need to show off the rest. So yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thank you for
AG,
having
do
me
you
as
have
well.
any- Yeah.
thanks for running the game. It was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, but again, I will stick with my opinion. That run is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the disc, put it back in its box, and just burn it. Honestly, at this point.
Yeah. It's a game.
It's
a game.
something.
If you want to watch world record for the full game, it's speedrun.com/haze. Go knock yourself out with that.
Yeah, it's good.
So, where can we find you if we want to watch your streams and see other amazing Haze runs?
For me.
We don't run Haze. Sorry to disappoint.
Haze is like once every maybe 10 years or so.
I'm at twitch.tv/Sergeant Silent. That's SRGT and then the word silent, no spaces. What about you, AG?
I'm at twitch.tv/agdevloper, and that's all one word.
And
yeah.
again, we don't run Haze. We just ran Haze. So don't expect to see it there.
And I thought I could see any % run out of you guys.
Oh well,
Maybe
I've
80.
I've got to do the any % run, but the one condition is I have to be drunk. So there's that. I'll do that at some point, drunk, but
It'll happen.
one day.
So,
And then
do you
like
have
the
any
next.
last words?
All I've got to say is, well, thank you very much for having me and letting me do the runs. It was honestly an honour and a pleasure. It was a lot of fun doing the Metroid run. The Haze, it was something. But yeah, thank you very much once again. It was really appreciated.
Thanks for running.
Yeah, and thank you very much for everyone that tuned in as well. It's much appreciated.
Totally. Every viewer is much appreciated, and we are very happy that you are all here, and we really hope you enjoy the runs. And coming up next will be Creamsuck running Outlast all chapters.